Hi, for this video we're going to talk about the new integration between SoccerDad and TeamSnap. So if I launch into SoccerDad right now, I'm starting out as any new user would with an empty database. No teams, nothing in my schedule, and at this point if I was a new user of SoccerDad, I'd have to manually enter my team information, all of my players, their contacts, my schedule, etc. So one of the great things that the TeamSnap integration brings is if you've already entered that in TeamSnap, if you're already a TeamSnap user, or you just like to be able to use your PC to enter this information, you can go ahead and enter that in TeamSnap and then import that data into SoccerDad. So let me just show you what I have set up in TeamSnap itself. So this is the TeamSnap site, teamsnap.com, and I'm just going to sign in online. And sorry about that, we're signing in. And I just have a simple Teams set up for myself called Palmer 2. And let's just go have a look at the setup in TeamSnap. Okay, so TeamSnap has the idea of a roster. So I'll go to my roster tab. And what I've done is I've prepared my team. I have a few players with photos. I have some contact information in here. Okay, so I have players with shirt numbers and things like that, 16 players. And then I have myself set up as the owner / manager of this team, a non-player. Okay. If I then go look at my schedule, I've set up a practice and a few games. Some of those games already have results in TeamSnap. Okay, but this is the game that I'm going to concentrate on, that last game there on Saturday, October the 11th. Okay, and the other thing TeamSnap allows you to do is it allows your players to sign on and actually give their availability. So what I've done is I've actually set up for that game. I have some players, the green check mark means they're available, the red X means that they're not available, and then there's a don't know, which is the question mark. And in fact I haven't shown it here, but there is another setting which is just not specified. In fact that earlier game there has everything not specified. Okay, so given all this information already entered in TeamSnap, how can I use that in SoccerDad? So I'm just going to switch back to SoccerDad now. And the first thing I need to do in SoccerDad is actually tie SoccerDad to my TeamSnap account. And the way I do that is in the Settings tab. And I've actually done this already here, but the settings on the left here, there's a section called TeamSnap Account. And if I want to enter the information, I hit the Edit button, go down and enter the information. Okay, so I've already populated that here. Okay, so once I have that information entered, I can now switch back to the Teams tab. And when I use the plus button here, I now have two options. If you hadn't set up TeamSnap, you would just be right into editing and entering your team information. But now that we have our TeamSnap account information set up, I can still manually enter a team. But the more interesting option here is to import my data from TeamSnap. So that's what I'm going to do. So once I select that, it's now going out and contacting TeamSnap. So you need to be online for this part. You need to have a web connection. And what it's done is it's pulled in the available teams. So in my case, it's the Palmer 2 team. The season is fall 2014, and it's even brought down my custom logo that I have for my team. Okay, so I can just go ahead and tap that. And what is presented now is some of the default game settings. So these are the things that will be applied to the games that you import from the TeamSnap schedule. Obviously this isn't something that you can specify in TeamSnap itself. So providing it here just means that your games for your team get created the right way, so you don't have to go back and manually edit them after the fact. Okay, so I'm actually going to change this. I'm going to make 8v8. Formation is okay. I'm going to shorten the time because I want to be able to sort of demo some of the game features, and I don't want the video to be too long. So it's 4 minutes. I'm going to make the half time 1 minute. And I'm just going to have 2 halves. Okay, so now I have those default settings for the games set up. I can now go ahead and actually import that information from TeamSnap. So the first thing is it goes out and it looks at the roster and brings that down, and then it also goes and looks at the schedule that's set up and imports those as events inside SoccerDad. Okay, so I'm back on my Teams tab, and if I look at my team, it's actually pulled in a whole bunch of information that I don't have to re-enter. Okay, so obviously the team name. TeamSnap doesn't have the concept of a team color, so it's defaulted to TeamSnap Orange, if you like. So you can go ahead and edit that if you want to. It's pulled in our team logo and the season from TeamSnap. And then for my players, it's pulled in pictures if they have them in TeamSnap. It's pulled in obviously their names and shirt numbers. Okay, and then for, let's pick a person here that I know has contact information in TeamSnap. So for these players, it's also pulled in their contact information from TeamSnap and made them contacts inside SoccerDad. Okay, and if I scroll further down here, SoccerDad doesn't have the idea of non-players, but it does have the concept of team contacts. So I came in as the coach here, and it will pull in my contact information as well. The other interesting thing is because it pulled in the schedule information, obviously we had games set up against other teams in the TeamSnap schedule, so those get pulled in as opposing teams inside SoccerDad. Okay, so let's just go and look at our schedule. So by default, SoccerDad just shows you the upcoming ones. So let's look at all. And what we see there is it did indeed pull in all the events I had set up in TeamSnap, the practice and my various games. You'll also notice that for games that have already been played and had a result in TeamSnap, it's actually pulled in those scores and, you know, assigned a draw, a win, whatever. Okay, so the game that I was interested in was that last game there, the Saturday, October the 11th. So I'm going to pretend I'm going to play that particular game. Okay, so it's October the 11th, I'm at the field, and one of the first things I have to do is figure out who's actually going to be there. Okay, so there may be people who've put in their availability at the last minute on TeamSnap. So, you are always able to take head count inside SoccerDad, but now if you've actually linked your team or imported your team through TeamSnap, I can now actually get the availability directly from what the players have set up inside TeamSnap. So we have check marks here for the people who are going to be there. I've extended the, in SoccerDad before you just had, I'm either going to be there or I'm not. So I've added other availabilities here. So if you see Joseph said he wasn't sure in TeamSnap, and that's how that's represented inside SoccerDad. So what I can do now is I actually know that Joseph is not at the field, so I can actually unselect him. Right, so that says he's not going to be there for the game. Okay, so the next thing I can do is actually go ahead and I'm going to just do a very simple game plan here. I'm just going to set up the first, I'm going to set up my starters. Okay, so that's my starting lineup, and that's all I'm going to do in the game plan at this point. Okay, so now we're going to actually go ahead and play our game. And as you remember, it's a very short game. I just wanted to show you a couple of things here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start. And one of the things I wanted to do is just record some stats so we can see how that can work with TeamSnap. Okay, so I'm going to put in a goal for Aaron, and we're going to say that Ian assisted. Let's just do some different ones here. So Aiden was offside. We're going to say that Patrick made a save. Okay, one other thing I did want to show is a little enhancement inside the game plan itself. So if we go to the menu here and go to my game plan. So this is the way I'm using this now is with ad hoc subs. So I want to sort of prepare my substitutions here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put Bryant in and I'm going to put Ian in. So that has not actually made the substitution at this point. A couple of little handy things though. I can now actually show actual times on this screen. So before you could only show planned times, so you couldn't really tell what was going on. So this is a very handy little feature. The other thing is you may notice that the borders on the players who are actually on the field right now are in yellow. So sometimes it can get a little confusing when you're planning these subs to know, okay, who do I still need to place, who's actually come off the field, who's being shown off the field. So this gives you the way to do that. So I'm just going to go back to my game. I'm going to show the subs. And I'm going to apply them. Okay, so that's a way to do ad hoc subs during the game. Okay, so it's now actually halftime. So I might actually want to do some other substitutions here. And let's get on with the second half. We start. Okay, and I'm just going to do a couple more stats just so we can see. Shot. Okay, we've got a foul. Okay, and let's just, for the sake of it, we're going to score another goal. Okay. And that's going to end my game. Okay, so our game's ended. It was a very successful game, 2-0 victory. Okay, so the next thing is, again, if I've integrated with TeamSnap and this game is something that's linked, I can actually publish that result right back to TeamSnap. Okay, so that's sent my result up to TeamSnap. We'll have a look at that in a second. The other thing I wanted to show is the reports. So reports have always been available within SoccerDad. So let's have a look at my stats. We'll look at this particular game. Okay, so those were the stats that I actually entered. So again, we could always share the results of this via email, but now we can also publish that report back to TeamSnap, and I'll show you how that appears. I'm going to publish that one. And let's go into something else. Let's say the playing times. People are always interested in that. Okay, so not particularly meaningful in our case, but again, we'll just publish that one back to TeamSnap. Okay. Okay, so now that we've published those items back to TeamSnap, let's switch back to the site and take a look at what we have there. Okay, so let's go back to TeamSnap. And I'm going to go back to my team. So the first thing to notice is down in this the green boxes. I didn't point this out when we came into TeamSnap, but we only had 2 wins at that point. So now we have a third win, the game that we just played. If I go into the schedule, we can actually see that that last game there was a win, 2-0. Okay, so that's the result is published. And then we also publish some reports. Okay, so if in TeamSnap you have the file upload option, and I switch to that tab, oh, it's going. Okay, so it doesn't upload photos, it actually uploads files. And the way this works is it actually creates folders for each of the reports. So if you, or each of the report types. So if you remember, we published some team and player stats, and we published some player times. So we have 2 folders for that. If I go inside those folders, we can take a look. And the way this works is it gives you a title that makes things meaningful. It corresponds to the underneath the report, the item that you selected. So in our case, we selected the game that was Palmer 2 versus BTAA number 2. Okay, and it gives you the published date. So that's a little weird, right? Because the game date said the 11th, and this says the 6th. Well, this is the date that I published it because I'm playing that game ahead of time. Okay, so if I actually click on this file, you have the normal, I can add a comment, that type of thing. But if I actually select it, I can actually see my report just like it appears inside SoccerDad. Okay, so those are my stats that I recorded during the game. Okay, and then if I go back, I actually want to go up to the file folders again, and I look at player times. Again, I have a similar thing. Okay, so this was the game that we played, the second one here, Palmer number 2. And I select that, and I select again. Okay, there I can see my playing time report again, just as it appears inside SoccerDad itself. Okay, so the one last thing that I wanted to show is that if I switch back to SoccerDad, there's one final option that I didn't show on the way through. If I go back to my team and actually scroll down, if this is a team that I imported from TeamSnap, then I have this other option, which is update from TeamSnap. So what that will do is it will go out to TeamSnap and pull in any new information. So if you've added a new player to your roster or created new events since you imported into the schedule, this will go out and pull in that additional information for this team. Okay, so that's the TeamSnap integration. I think it's a fantastic thing. It makes it so much easier if you have your information in TeamSnap, or even if you're thinking about sharing information with your parents. You know, TeamSnap is a great option for that. And this just makes it very simple to both pull in the initial information, your team and your roster and your schedule, but also publish the information back once you've used SoccerDad at the field. Okay, thank you very much.